I came across some words out of a funny little book which struck me. What we see with our eyes is determined by what we believe. That could bear repeating. What we see with our eyes is determined by what we believe. So much of our existence and the joys and the sorrows of our lives are determined by a preconditioned response. We've all got one, haven't we? Programmed by our inherent belief system, our inner belief system. And you know what we expect to unfold because perhaps of past experience. We might look at a situation and already have judged its outcome according to the way in which we think and believe. Something we can look at very carefully, see if we can raise it a bit perhaps. We could call it a sense of conditioning or expectation of what is going to happen from any given set of circumstances. Now this can be an instinctual response which we've brought into our lives from the past, from past incarnations. It could be our upbringing, which we've chosen to experience. It can be our education. It can be the group influence, the people who we choose to surround ourselves with, and the media or aspect of what we read. All that is part of a conditioned response. It's rather, as if we're all using a different earthly kaleidoscope, showing different patterns and forms with which we are familiar, with little bearing, perhaps, on what are the real truths. Our viewpoints of what is happening around us is very infectious, and depending upon our thoughts, which fill our minds, it will infect others with joy and inspiration, or perhaps otherwise. We are all responsible for our own private broadcasting antenna and what we're allowing to be broadcast from that. Let's take the present conditions of the world. Actually, let's stop for a moment. What actually are the conditions in the world? Where are we finding truth? To whom are we listening? Is what we hear on our physical level supplanting our own personal, internal truth? What is our truth? Is it that which is coming from the heart, from the inner voice, our intuition? Or has that somehow become buried because of opinions and behaviours formed and fashioned by an outside agent, someone else's broadcast material through their individual antenna, and not necessarily ours? How important it is to retain and maintain that peaceful, sacred, beautiful fragrance of the rose within our heart, that which lifts and makes all things sacred, and it knows without a shadow of doubt that we will be safely guided through all manner of tests and trials and always brought safely home. Somehow, through all these earthly upheavals, lies this gem, this rose, this safe home within the heart. Each of us are being asked to discern and to find within the outer chaos a dispassion filled with compassion, an understanding of the myriad of opinions and dictates of millions in the outer world, yet never lose that still ideal of that rose that lies in the heart, never to become fearful or swayed, but to understand every other and eventually to love. It is a time when the inner Christ self needs to come to the fore, to use our own broadcasting station to powerfully disseminate a wonderful stream of God light to help move and absorb the shadow and literally change our world. White Eagle says that when a group or even a lone person says those words, "Let the light shine," there is a burst in the heavens of light. So,